Hello, welcome to Kerala PSC HSA English classes. This is class 17. Let's discuss on Emily Dickinson's poem Because I Could Not Stop for Depth. It is a lyrical poem and it is one of the most celebrated poems of Emily Dickinson, composed around 1863. It is written in 6 quatrains with the meter alternating between iambic tetrameter and iambic trimeter. It was first published posthumously in Poems Series 1 in 1890. And the poem number is 479. So, in the poem, the speaker is visited by death, and death is personified as a gentleman riding on a horse carriage. He picks the speaker up and takes her on a journey to the afterlife. And she also personifies immortality. So, in the first stanza, she welcomes death when she says that he kindly stopped for me. So there is a pleasant tone, just like a suitor is coming in front of her. So the poet is not afraid of death, but instead, the death is being portrayed as a close friend, a gentleman suitor. And the author is quite comfortable with death. So here the carriage ride occurs, that is, the speaker gets into the horse carriage with death and have a ride. So the carriage ride is symbolic of author's departure from life, that is, the speaker or the poet is already dead now. She is in the carriage with death and immortality. So she reveals her willingness to die. And she says that she had put away labor and leisure too for his civility. So that means the author has come in terms with her own mortality. She don't want to live and she's ready to die. So she has decided to give up all she wanted, whatever she wanted to do with her life, and she is willing to enter into the carriage with death and immortality. But even if she is not willing to go with the death, they would have taken her because death is an inevitable thing. She says that death is always with us. So we have to accept it now or whenever the time comes. So the difference is that here the speaker is not afraid of death. We don't see a dark or very fearful scene here. Here the death and immortality is shown as the two characters who are very much kind and very much gentle. The death came very slowly towards her, allowing her to, remains. He knew no haste as they drove. They came very slowly. He takes her through the course of her life with a slow pace. And immortality also rides along, but is very silent. So they drive past the school where the children stroll. That is, here the author is thinking about some moments about her childhood. Then they drive past the gazing grain, allowing the author to think about her life, some situations, some moments, and they pass the setting sun. So this symbolizes, the setting sun symbolizes the death. And it is very beautiful and gentle. That means from passing from life to eternity is portrayed as very beautiful. But generally, when we think of death, it will give a kind of a fear or chillness in our mind. But here, the death is being portrayed as a very beautiful and gentle thing. Then, next, when we come to the fourth stanza, there is a shift in tone. That is, now the sun has set, and the author realizes that she is dead and she is cold. So she shivers. And then she becomes aware that she is underdressed. Till now, she was very much comfortable with death and immortality, and she had all that journey with them, riding along, um, watching the school, the grassland, the setting sun. But now she realizes that she was dressed in her gozama and her tippetoli too. That means she is she's wearing her nightgown. But now she does not have a shame at being underdressed. However, the when the sun sets and the cold damp sets in, she becomes aware of her inappropriate attire. So it's going to be night, and then she realizes that she was dressed in her nightgown. And now they reach before her new home, a swelling of the ground, and that symbolizes the grave. So she claims the roof was scarcely visible and the cornice but a mound. So here it's a very sad thing. The tone is very of that of disappointment. The author realizes that death is not at all she thought it would be. Now the sun has set on her life and she is standing before the new home, and now the disappointment sets in. So the of course the death was kind and gentle, and he lured her in with grandiose promises of eternity, and now she sees her small damp eternal home, and now she feels cheated. She was not expecting this. And she tells that it has been centuries and yet she feels shorter than a day as life goes on without her. So, death, immortality, and the poet had a very beautiful journey. So, it all felt like a century. And now, when she is in front of her new home, now it feels like shorter than a day. So the death, who appeared to be a kindly gentleman at first, now left her alone in the dark, cold, damp grave. So at the beginning of the poem, she viewed death as very beautiful, and she was not sad about it because death may cause great pain, but it also inspires people to know about the afterlife. And of course, it is an inevitable change. And she wants her readers to accept it, even embrace it. And at the end of the poem, we realize that that sadness, that disappointment in her, that it is all dark after the death. So she was ready to end her life, end her mortal life, and she was expecting a new beginning after life. But it was a contrast of the life that she experienced during her mortal life, actually. because it was dark and she was all alone. And she felt cheated by death.